We are in the olive harvesting process, and I'm going to explain the different ways to pick olives from the tree, either more manually or more mechanized. In fact, there are 3 methods, as we see in this video. Olives can be picked by hand but from the tree. We always pick them from the tree, the olives that are picked from the ground, and if they have already fallen. After certain hours or days on the ground, they lose quality, and this quality will be what the oil lacks. Olives from the ground will always have defects for making extra virgin olive oil. Olives must always be picked from the tree, but we can make them fall to the ground and place some tarps on the ground and quickly take them to the mill. We can pick them with a vibrator or we can use a machine. We will see the 3 methods. What interests us most is that the least possible time passes from when the olive is on the tree until it is at the mill. Because when the olive is detached from the tree, you start to lose quality. It begins to gain acidity. And that is something we do not want. For example, extra virgin olive oil cannot have more than 0.8 acidity. That is why we always say that from the tree to the oil, no more than 24 hours should pass, but ideally, much less should pass. This is a method for picking olives. We go with beaters, you see, the tarps on the ground, and what we do is make the olives fall to the ground onto these tarps. Then we put them in boxes, and they will go directly to the mill. It is the slowest system and the most expensive system, okay? Because it requires more hours of work. But it works. It works well, and in many farms it is done this way. Even because many trees cannot be mechanized, the other system is with the umbrella. What is the umbrella? It is this machine you see here that hugs the tree, giving it a vibration of about 15-20 seconds. Sometimes we do 2 vibrations to make them fall better, no more. You can't insist too much with this system because otherwise a lot of leaves fall and it can be detrimental to next year's harvest because the tree will have fewer leaves and will work less. But it is a very fast system, more economical than manual labor, and it is a system that is used in many places around the world. Sometimes people ask us, does this harm the tree? No, the truth is that it does not harm the tree. This plantation you see here has been harvested for about 20 years, and the trees have no problems. It is true that we have to watch out if, as the harvest is advancing more and more, if the tree is very tender because it is hot and the sap is circulating, we could slightly harm the tree, which we do not want. This, for example, is what should not happen. Now it is very hot, and in this case, it has happened. But in most trees, almost all, we have not had this problem. But above all, we must be careful with this because it causes a lot of damage to the tree. And it is possible that these 2 branches we have left on this side may dry out, and in a couple of years not produce too many olives. If this happens, it is advisable to apply a healing paste to the tree the next morning, so that the damage is as minimal as possible. Because these damages you see here, well, they also harm the tree. If it is still very tender because it is hot, we need to keep a very close watch. Moistening, for example, the sponges of the vibrator so that this does not happen, because we really need to avoid this. Sometimes what we do in an extreme case is just open the umbrella and vibrate by hand with the vibrators, but this is slower, which makes it more expensive. When the machine's hopper is full, the trailer is emptied, and also quickly towards the oil mill. And we have this last system, which is the mechanization. These are harvesting machines that we have adapted or have been adapted to pick olives, but they can only work in super intensive plantations because you see, the tree has to pass through the middle of the machine. So the tree cannot be very large. Here pruning is key, but the harvest is much faster, much more economical. Here, if the plantation is loaded, up to 5,000 or 6,000 kilos can be collected per hour, which is outrageous. Therefore, the harvesting costs are much more economical. This also does not harm the tree if the tree is well pruned. In fact, we have been doing this type of harvesting for about 15 years, and we produce some really excellent oils because the process is very fast. From the tree to the mill, very little time passes, just a few hours, which makes the quality of the oil even better. These are the three systems used today to collect olives. Each has its advantages and disadvantages. Above all, the super-intensive method requires a super-intensive planting in hedges. These are more expensive plantations. The investment for establishment is quite higher. But starting from year 2, we are harvesting olives with this system. With the vibrator, we have to wait 4, 5, or 6 years for the trunk to be strong enough to vibrate without harming the tree.